welcome to a mini episode of GamerHeads. My name is Roger, and along with me today, I have...
Oh, it's me.
Hey!
Hey!
I always do this to my other co-hosts. I have...
my name is Brett. Hi.
Hey!
And this is familiar ground for me because two of my coworkers do that to each other all the time.
Oh, really?
When we do videos, we'll do a promotional video where we have to talk about stuff, and in a video, like, the easiest way to keep somebody's attention is to like have two people kind of trading off information because
Sure.
it's a new voice and it keeps things dynamic. And what Maria will do is she'll start saying something and then cut herself off in the middle of what she's saying and just turn to Amanda with no warning. They haven't rehearsed anything. They haven't discussed any of this. And then Amanda's like, has to stutter and become a mind reader suddenly and figure out what it is Maria wanted her to say. So we have, for every single promotional video that we filmed with the two of them disseminating information, I have an outtake where she does that. Except for this year when she started doing a thing and paused and kept going.
Yeah.
And Amanda blew the take because she started laughing because she expected that Maria was going to stop and look at her for no reason.
Yeah.
So
Oh, man.
they've started mixing up their bloopers.
Well, and just the listeners know, this is not scripted either. This is all like...
What? Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, so...
That's why I was caught completely unawares when I had to say my own name.
I just showed up at your office and just been like, hey...
And I'm like, oh my God, it's Roger stuck to the window like a Garfield.
Yeah, hey, what is he doing here?
Just waving a microphone and pointing at it excitedly.
Let me in. I have a microphone.
I want to talk about things.
Well, today we're going to be talking about Worldbuilders, and right now you have a really big fundraiser going on.
We sure do, yeah.
So I wanted to get together with you to talk about that and then let our listeners know of the opportunities that they have to not only help with this charity event, but then also get something in return.
Nice.
So I know we talked about Worldbuilders in a previous episode. But
I think in both of the episodes
probably. But for those that maybe haven't listened to those episodes and those that are joining new to our podcast, why don't you tell a little bit about what Worldbuilders is? We
are a charity. We are what you call a pass-through charity. We're a 501c3, so we are a legitimate nonprofit. But we exist specifically to raise money for other charities who do the hard work. We've been around for almost 10 years, which is kind of scary.
That's a long time.
It is. But what we do is we work, basically we started out around this time of year, around 9 years ago, I think. And all it was a way to encourage people to donate to Heifer International. Heifer International is, they're the people every year you'll see advertisements popping up on Facebook here and there that say, for this Christmas, buy someone in your family a goat. And what you can do is donate $120 to Heifer International. That's enough to buy a family somewhere in the world a goat. And it's a neat hook. And it does resonate with a lot of people, and we appreciate that. But the more we learn about Heifer International and the programs that they do and the people they work with and how they approach it, we just got real excited.
Yeah.
So they, apart from just buying a goat, they have other programs involving biogas and clean water and education, like sending kids to school. They work with women's groups in like Bangladesh to try to get them organized so that they can start a co-op, so that they have more buying power and they have a way to distribute things like, they can buy basics and open a small store, and that gives them status in a society that doesn't grant women status.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a neat way to get people on their feet who don't have an opportunity to get on their feet.
Yeah.
Like if you come from a farming family, you're going to spend most of your time caring for the animals, caring for your crops, harvesting your crops, trying to sell your crops, all that sort of thing. And there's not a lot of time for the kids to go to school because you need them to help on the farm. And what Heifer will do is they'll come in to an area that's kind of struggling. They'll be like, okay, you're farming this on this land, with this type of everything. And they work with the farmers themselves to say, okay, let's see if we can tweak how you do things. They don't come in and say, do it our way.
Sure.
They're just like, well, let's do this because we've had good results, or let's bring in some other resources that'll help you speed up the process, or whatever. And it helps these people kind of get a handle on how they live, and it frees up some extra time so that their kids can go to school and do some other stuff.
Sure.
So it's I ramble a lot, but basically we like Heifer International because they go where they're invited. They work with the community leaders who know what they need, and Heifer's like, all right, we will help you get what you need so that you can prosper. And once everything is done, and a program can take like a decade to finish. They come in, they do the educational phase. After about a year of that, they bring the raw materials in, if it's a goat or bees or seeds or whatever the community needs. And then that community starts doing the stuff. And once they're successful and back on their feet, then they take whatever they've learned and all the resources that they now have, and they can go to the next community and say, here's what we learned, here's how to do the thing, it worked for us, here's what you need to get started.
Yeah.
We're here to help.
Yeah.
And it's this weird chain of people helping other people.
Yeah. World building.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And you mentioned that this started about 10 years ago. So can you give a little bit of background of like Worldbuilders itself and how it got to be? I mean, it's a huge. I didn't realize how big this was. You gave me a tour after or before this podcast. I didn't realize how large of an organization this really is, and how much you guys do.
We do a lot. We have a large building now.
Yeah.
We really like the new building. But Worldbuilders is still 6 people.
That's crazy. This building is so huge that you could get lost in it. Seriously, you could get lost in this building.
Yeah.
For 6 people, that's pretty crazy.
I mean, it's not necessarily the building isn't this big just for the 6 of us. The building is this big for all of the stuff that we have, and we'll probably tackle that momentarily.
Yeah.
But Worldbuilders itself started long time ago, 9 years ago,
in a galaxy far, far away.
Yes.
Right?
It was started by Pat Rothfuss. He's a fantasy writer, and a very good one. Mm-hmm. I'm a little biased.
Yeah.
But really beautiful books.
It is. Yeah. I read the first one. I have not finished the trilogy yet. So
neither is he.
Okay.
But
he
anyway.
hasn't come out with the third book yet.
What?
The third book hasn't come out.
No,
yet?
not yet.
Oh, okay.
So
then I don't feel too bad yet. Then.
Yeah. No, it's good. But he. When the first book originally came out, it was kind of a sleeper. It didn't do that well initially until, and I'm not even sure what caught on, but something caught on, and suddenly, he actually made some money doing the book, and he had not seen that much money before, and he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Probably give it to somebody, because that's his knee-jerk reaction with everything. So I'm going to help somebody out.
Yeah.
He's like a master facilitator.
Yeah.
This guy. He's like, are you in trouble? Can I help? Can I do a thing? And which is awesome. It's like, and that's the type of person you need to start something like this.
Yeah.
But he had a little bit of money, and he knew that he had people reading the book, and he also had a blog. And he's like, people read the blog. Maybe I can encourage all of these people to donate to Heifer International. And he picked Heifer because originally because it was his mom's favorite charity.
Yeah.
And she had done charity work. She'd been overseas. She'd worked with she'd been on the ground doing stuff.
Okay, so this is where he gets that helping, right?
Yeah. She was a big influence in Pat's impulse to just help people.
Sure.
And she liked Heifer. She liked how they did things. And he's like, well, if it's good enough for my mom, then it's good enough for me.
Yeah.
And, of course, over the years, he's found out this is why it was good enough for my mom, because she was smart. Let's do this. But he's like, I'm going to encourage people to donate to Heifer International by posting on my blog and saying, let's do a fund drive.
Yeah.
He said, every time you donate $10 to Heifer International, I'll throw your name into a hat. And at the end of the fundraiser, I'll pick out a name, and send you a book for my bookcase. And he thought he'd probably raise maybe about $5,000.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's decent.
Yeah.
That's no problem. And he, to sweeten the pot, he's like, I will match dollar for dollar what everybody donates. And he raised $50,000. and
Wow.
matched it all.
Wow, that's crazy.
And was very, very poor once again.
Yeah.
But he did make good on his promise.
That's nice.
But anyway, so since then, word spread, and other fantasy authors heard about it, and they're like, well, hey, I've got books I can donate to, increase the lottery. And at the end of the first fundraiser that he did, Neil Gaiman spread the word about it to his fans and brought his fans in, which might have been one of the things that pushed it over the edge.
Yeah.
But Gaiman also donated a very rare version of Stardust. His novel. It's an ARC. It's an advanced copy, but it's signed by Gaiman and numbered.
Wow.
And it's in a custom slipcase that's like foil stamped. I mean, it's like
Wow.
you don't do this with an advanced copy.
Yeah.
But there it was, and he donated that, and that has its own story. We still have it.
You do?
We do still have it. It was, what was it now? It was in the lottery, I think, the first year, and somebody won it, and he's like, this is awesome, but you should really auction this off.
So they're like trying to pay for it themselves, saying,
yeah,
thank you for it, but
this would be a great book to own because it's rare and it's Gaiman and it's cool.
Yeah.
But you really need to auction this off and raise some money. And Pat had it in the lottery because he's like, this is awesome. Anyone can get it.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's really cool.
And the winner's like, no, it's great, but you should auction it off and raise more money. So the next year he auctioned it off, and a guy bid, I think it was like $2,500, $2,500 for this book.
Wow.
And told Pat to keep it and put it in the lottery.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, I don't know if I would do that.
Yeah.
Myself.
No.
not that
no.
good.
Yeah. or that rich, actually, for you know.
And there's a story behind that one too. It was his mother had passed away recently, and that was a chunk of the money that she had left him.
Sure.
And it was another thing where his mom always encouraged him to help out and donate time and money and help people, and that was his way of honoring her memory. It's like, oh, she left me this money, I'm gonna just give it to charity.
Wow.
So he did, and he's like, it's great that I won the auction. Here's the money. You should put it in the lottery so anybody can get it.
Wow.
And every year we try to give it away, and every year somebody's like, this is cool, but you should probably give it to somebody else.
One year it's going to be like, thank you. Somebody's going to say thank you for that book.
And that's their prerogative.
Yeah, I know. But isn't that crazy? It's like just, or it becomes a tradition of, okay, yeah, I won it, I have to give it back now.
It's kind of a thing. And I think at this point that book is bigger than the fundraiser.
Yeah.
Just because we've had, 9 people now, pass through. One person won it twice.
Oh my
randomly
goodness.
in the lottery.
Oh my gosh.
And I have no idea. I just can't.
Yeah.
But she was awesome both times. She's like, no, here, keep it. Wow. And it's like we appreciate that, and we do send them, some cool books and that sort of thing. But like at this point, I think if I won the book, like back in the day, if I won the book or if I paid $2,500 for it on eBay, I would keep it.
Yeah.
At this point, though, it's like,
I know,
just like being part of that legacy.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
Yeah, take it back. Let's see who wins it next year.
I know. It's like you can't break that now. It feels like that's a tradition that you're like, oh no, I can't break that tradition.
Too big.
Yeah, it's too big. It's bigger than me now, right? Bigger than that person.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's like, and we tell all the winners, it's like, you won it fair and square.
Yeah.
Like, it's yours if you want.
Yeah.
And they're all like, nah. It's like, I think the woman who won it twice, I think we sent it to her.
Oh, you did.
And it's like, you've won it twice in a row. You should probably at least take a look. And she read it and sent it back to us.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh.
But we actually, I can't remember whose idea it was, but we actually have library cards for it now.
Oh, you do?
Yep, we bought library cards, and I've like faked up a little Dewey Decimal thing, and we printed a bunch of them out, and Neil signed the back of them all.
Oh my goodness.
And every time somebody wins one, they add their name to all of the library cards, and they keep one.
Oh,
and they send the rest back to us. So it's like now, for the past 4 or 5 years, I think. No, actually, I think everybody did it. We did some catch up. We sent it around to all of the previous winners.
Okay.
So all the names except for the very first one are on there because
Wow.
we can't track down that original winner.
Okay.
But yeah, all the signatures are on the library
Oh my
cards
gosh.
now, and whoever wins it this year, I mean, they can keep it if they want it,
Yeah.
or sign
Add
all
their
the
name.
library
Yeah,
cards,
yeah.
keep
Oh my
one,
goodness.
and they are part of that story.
So Neil knows about this then too. He knows that.
As far as I know, yeah. I mean, he's contributed a couple of videos for us over the years. I think was it last year or the year before he was going to read Jabberwocky.
Oh yeah.
But he's so familiar with it, he just recited it while walking
my
through
goodness.
the woods.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So yeah, and we've got all sorts of people like Neil Gaiman, spreads the word every year, and we have a bunch of other authors that donate time and books, and John Scalzi donated 2,500 books.
That's amazing
for the lottery, and I just can't even think of anybody right now. We actually have. I am going so far off topic, but apart from all the stuff that goes in the lottery, and it's not just books. We have a bunch of tabletop games. We have some gaming supplies.
Jewelry too, right?
Jewelry, yeah. And when people donate through our donation page, which is worldbuilders.org/donate, there, I did something right. There's during the finalization process when it's like, oh, thanks for donating the thing, what do you want to win? And you can check little radio buttons like, I just want books, or I want books and games, or I want games and jewelry, things like that. And we kind of try to we have a few different draws, where if somebody's like, I want books, jewelry, and something else, I don't know,
like games or something.
Then they're we kind of, I don't even know how they do spreadsheet magic.
Oh.
Where it's everything is randomized, and then if you haven't signed up for a specific thing, then you're just removed from that particular item's draw.
Sure.
So it works out, and that way nobody gets something that they can't use.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice because we try to be accommodating.
Yeah.
But we have, apart from the lottery, we also have auctions for things. And we've got like rare books and weird like special edition games and things like that.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing that we have is critiques and tuckerizations, which are an auction. And we have a bunch of authors and agents and editors, like they've all donated their time to read and critique people's manuscripts.
Wow.
So if you're working on a book, you basically go into the auction and find somebody who does kind of what what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like if we have a science fiction author, and they're like, yeah, I'll read the first 50,000 words of your manuscript and then give you a critique, or I'll do track changes in Word, or I'll call you up and discuss it.
Wow.
That's cool. We actually have a physicist this year,
really,
who has donated the time to read, I think, like a 7,000 word treatment of your, like if you do hard science fiction and you're like, how solid is my world building? How does this fly from a scientific standpoint? He will go and discuss it with you.
Wow.
So
like, this is if you have something that you've written,
yes, and
you're like, hey, I want somebody in the professional world to look over my manuscript, basically, right? That these people have donated their time and said, yeah, we'll sit down and talk through this with you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like they donate their time for us to auction off to raise money for the charity.
Yeah.
And then, like at the end of the auction, whoever the auction winner is, we will email them and the author or editor or agent or whoever's donated their time and get the two of them talking.
Wow.
And I got a chance to do that a couple years running. I wasn't able to do one this year just because I don't have the time this year. But I think Pat's doing one, so it's like he'll read the first 50,000 or 75,000 words of a manuscript and just call you on the phone and say, here's what I think. So I mean, it's a neat way to get the opinion of somebody who kind of knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And we have there's a copy editor, professional copy editor, who's donated his time. It's like, I will go through and copy edit your manuscript.
Oh my goodness.
And that includes making sure the grammar and punctuation is consistent, making sure the tone stays consistent, like fact checking, things like that. Yeah. So I mean, it's like this weird access to the publishing industry that you don't really think about.
Yeah. Wow, that's really amazing.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the difference between the donation and then the auction.
Yes.
So the donations, can you tell a little bit about how that works? Because I know it's like I'll let you explain how the program works.
Okay, thank you for keeping me on track.
Oh, no.
There's so much to talk about.
I know.
How the donations work is we have a donation page set up. So you can go to our website, worldbuilders.org/donate, and just pick what you want to donate. We have a few suggested amounts that correspond with different things that Heifer does, but you can donate $10. You can donate, $2 5 times, and that's $10.
Yeah.
But like every $10 that you donate gets your name into the lottery once, and it doesn't matter if you donate in tiny increments throughout the fundraiser. We add all of that together. During the checkout process, when you donate your money, you can check the little radio button that says, "This is kind of what I would like you to skew my lottery winning toward if I win a thing."
Yeah.
And then at the end of the fundraiser, we kind of lie low for a week or two while everything is processed. Credit cards are charged, that sort of thing. Do some troubleshooting, and then we cut a check to Heifer for everything.
Wow.
Everything that's donated through the donate page, everything that we earn through the auctions that we run, all of that goes to Heifer.
Wow.
So we don't keep any of it. We just do the work.
Yeah.
But then we cut a check to Heifer and put all the spreadsheets together, troubleshoot any addresses, get in touch with people if cards haven't run or if people have address changes. We get that all evened out, and then we do a big prize drawing.
Yeah.
And that means pulling all the books off the shelves and rubber banding them together with shipping labels and then packing everything up and shipping it out.
Yeah.
And last year we had a few thousand prizes go out the door.
Wow. Well, you're going to have a lot of prizes going out this door.
We are going to have a lot of prizes this year. This is the biggest our lottery has been ever.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. And so the event goes from now. So I think it was like November 16th, right?
Yeah, it started last Monday.
Okay.
So it's been going, at the time we record this, it's going a week. And it's going to go through December 8th. So we tend to do like a 4-week fundraiser.
Okay.
Yeah, and every day we add stuff to we have a section on our website called the Lottery Library where you can go in and see, pictures of the books that we have and, like little descriptions, whether or not they're signed. We've got a bunch of signed stuff, some rare stuff, some ARCs. Just a weird smattering of cool books.
Yeah.
And games too. But every day we try to post something new. Like we add more stuff to the library. We have a blog post about what's happening today or what do we want to talk about. And as you may have guessed from all of my random tangents, there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot.
So I think tomorrow we have a blog post for the Stardust ARC where we talk about that, and we've talked about some of the game companies that have donated to us. Cheap Ass Games donated a bunch of stuff, and we love them. All their games are so much fun.
Yeah. And
Upper Deck donated a bunch of stuff. Loan Shark Games donated a whole bunch of copies of Apocrypha, which is like a $75 tabletop game that's all about storytelling.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
I want to play it, but it's a bit of an investment, and getting everybody in the office together to play a game with all of our different schedules is difficult.
Yeah.
But I hope we get a chance to play that one soon because it looks like a lot of fun. But those are just the first 3 game companies that we featured, and there will be more. Yeah. Just because all these people are pitching in. Yeah. It's just crazy.
This is really amazing. Yeah, and I know you gave me a tour, and we kind of alluded to this, but man, there's this room full of bookshelves. I mean, it's a bookshelf, just a wall, a huge room. It just goes from the floor to the ceiling, pretty much. And it's all full of books. Yes. And I looked at it and I said, "Wow, this is so amazing." And it's amazing that in central Wisconsin, in Stevens Point, that this is like the hub of where all this happens. It's really amazing, and I know you said you moved into this building in July. Yeah. This new used to be a newspaper office building, I guess if you will, right? And then before that, you had a much smaller.
Much smaller.
Yeah. And you also told me about when this first started out and how Pat would pull the names out of a hat, right? Literally.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not sure if it was a literal hat.
Okay.
It may have been like a Halloween pumpkin or something.
Sure.
But he had everything written on recipe cards, and he would just blindly pull names out. And that would be a lot of recipe cards these days.
Yeah. So, this is really an amazing thing, and this has been going on for 10 years. And so, how much money has Worldbuilders been able to donate to the organization?
Oh man, I'm not sure how much we've donated to Heifer just by themselves.
Yeah.
I know since we started, we have raised $7.1 million for Heifer and others.
And others, yeah.
So it's like the annual fundraiser that we do, we try to keep it in the same spirit as what Pat originally did back in the day, which was do the lottery, do auctions, get people excited, to help people out, and because it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a weird sort of feeling. Like I said earlier with the Stardust Heresy, that I'm not a good person, but it's like there's a certain something to joining something like this, like to donating some money that is actually going to be put to some good use for people who need it. And it's like I have more than one computer. I have a nice smartphone that I use all the time. It's like I have a car that runs. I'm not worried about where my next meal is going to come from. Yeah. So it's like I can stand to donate some money to some people. But we try to make it a little more fun. Yeah. It's like that feeling that you get when you donate is cool, but you have to do it first.
Yeah.
And what we do is make it appealing.
Yeah.
Because like not everybody is going to think about, especially Christmas time. It's like, I have to do shopping. I have to entertain. I have to, make a meal for people and, deal with the in-laws, and kids are in school and I have to go to pageants and stuff like that. So donating to a charity kind of falls on the wayside, which is why you usually get a lot of the advertising during the Christmas season. But we try to make it more appealing by doing the lottery and having weird auctions for weird things. Yeah. And we do what we find interesting. Because it's like we're nerds. Yeah. So it's like, a tabletop game? I would love to win one of those. Yeah. Let's do that.
When you walk me through that whole area, I'm like, oh man, how much money do I have to donate to possibly win one of these, right? Like, it's so cool. I know, $10. That's amazing. That's really amazing. And it's interesting because I think that like this is a really good time of year to do that too, because I know that I've had family members that have donated to Heifer, and made a donation in our name to them for like donated a calf or donated a goat or whatever the case was. Yeah. And it made me feel good because it wasn't something like that, something that's going to collect dust, right? Like on my shelf. It's going to be something that somebody can actually use. But in this case, you could donate money in somebody's name, and then you could possibly get something on return too. Like, how cool is that, right? So
I mean, there's always that chance. I've donated to our own fundraiser every year. I've yet to win anything.
Well, they pull your name out and they're like, no,
probably. But I mean, still, there's that possibility. Yeah. It's exciting, and the neat thing is, a lot of the people that do win stuff from the lottery kind of forget about it. Yeah. Because it's like we have fun. We do a dumb video and we get people, to come in, and it's like, look at all this cool stuff. And it's, it's not like we're faking it. This is exciting stuff. Yeah. This is the best job in the world because we get to see all this cool stuff come in. We have a lot of people donated like original artwork, like King Killer themed artwork from Pat's books. Yeah. There's a woman in Utah who does cross stitch, and she does all of her own designs, and she will work up some stuff. And she had the cutest Dracus cross stitch thing that she did, and donated a couple of those. So we auctioned off some of her cross stitch. Yeah. So it's just neat to see all this stuff come in, and we want to show it off. Yeah, yeah. So it's like, look, guys, look at the cool stuff. Yeah. And we're actually this year. For the fundraiser, we're doing something. We've done this in years past, but this year we're kind of trying to ramp it up and encourage people to hop on board, and that's fundraising teams. So basically, if you have a group like, say, GamerHeads, and you want to raise money on your behalf, just to see how much money can our people raise, you can email us, and we'll help you set up a team page on our main donation page. And we have a few groups. The Wayward Backers have showed up. We have the King Killer group, I guess, and who else is on there? There's I think 4 or 5 different organizations, like fan groups, that have team pages now, and some of them have their own stuff. there's a critiques group. So we have a bunch of critiques and tuckerizations on auction, but if you donate to our fundraiser through the critiques team, like through their specific page, that basically unlocks 3 manuscript critiques
nice.
that you could win on top of all the other stuff else
Oh, wow.
in the lottery.
Wow.
And in the King Killer group, if you donate through them, then you unlock a bunch of King Killer themed lottery items,
Nice.
including the original art, like some of the original art. We've got a couple of signed books. We've got reproductions of Quoth's sword that just hit the market in the past month, and we have a few of those that we're going to be giving away. But you have to donate through that team to get those unlocked as part of your main lottery thing.
Wow.
And that's neat.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool.
And it's kind of cool because then you can pit teams against each other. So who's going to win? Is it going to be the critique team or the King Killer team? Who's going to raise more money?
Yeah. So do they have just like a page then hosted on your site then? Like they kind of can they make that as like I guess customized as much as they want to then, or
it's not very customizable. It's the platform that we're using. You can do like a banner image, and then I think like a little avatar. But the format of the page is going to be consistent with ours, and it's a sub page on our donation page, so people at least know you're legit. So if you go to the donation page, worldbuilders.org/donate, and scroll down a little bit, you'll see little panels that have all the different teams and what they've raised. And if you click on those teams, then you can see what they're about. Like, do they have anything special in the lottery? Do they have a specific goal? Like each team can have their own goal of fundraising. And kind of what they're about, and then you can donate through that team page right there. So it's all kind of a one-stop donation place, and it's neat to see what these teams have come up with for incentives to get their supporters to donate.
Oh wow, I'm going to do that next year because
cool.
For GamerHeads that would be really amazing. Cool. So another question I do have for you too is, so a lot of our listeners are not just in the United States. We have listeners throughout the whole world.
Oh yeah.
Canada.
The internet.
Yeah, because of the internet, right? So yeah, we have quite a few listeners in Canada, quite a few listeners in Great Britain.
Nice.
Australia as well. So if they want to get involved, could they get involved with this as well? Can they also be entered into this drawing?
They sure can.
Okay.
Yeah. We at the end of the fundraiser, we send out everything to everyone.
Nice.
We if they want to. I think there's a way that you can actually pay for the processing fees when you donate. You're also welcome to donate a little bit extra to cover shipping, but we have that covered.
Okay.
So that's, Heifer gets all the money that we raise, but we also have like a bulk service that we use that gets us a pretty decent rate.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not that bad shipping stuff overseas.
Nice.
So, I mean, if people want to donate, great. We take credit cards and PayPal and,
Nice.
Make it super easy.
Yeah, nice. Cool. Well, is there anything else that you want to let our listeners know? I know you mentioned the website a few times, but we should probably mention that again so that people know like where they can go to not only donate, but I know you have the online store as well. People can buy things there too. Like when you're even outside the campaign that you're running right now, they can go and buy things in the store as well.
Definitely, yeah. The store's open year round, and we're carrying. We're trying to broaden our horizons with the store, just because there's a bunch of authors and comics and creators and things that we really like personally, and they have a fandom that needs merchandise and doesn't always get it. Like the big example that I can think of is Rat Queens, the comic, which is lots of fun.
Yeah,
I mean, if you like D&D.
I'll have to check this out now.
It's definitely read Rat Queens.
Okay.
It's basically a lot of gender flipping, trope flipping, D&D referencing fun.
Sounds awesome.
But they had an online store that had different, like some of the iconography from the comic that you could get on t-shirts, tank tops, tote bags, the regular merchandise, and they were on hiatus for about a year, and when they were bringing the book back, they had to kind of streamline the operation, and they didn't have the resources to do the online store anymore. And so we talked to them about maybe carrying their merchandise, and they were for it.
Yeah.
So we're actually working with the woman who originally did all the merchandising, and if she's like, "Hey, I want to do this product," we're like, "Great, let's do this product," and we'll put it in our store, and then they get the percentage. They don't have to go out of their way to keep track of all the shipping and everything.
Yeah.
And then anything we make goes into charity.
Yeah.
So it works for everybody. We started doing merchandising for Sex Criminals and Bitch Planet, 2 other comics that you definitely need to read.
Okay.
And we have stuff for other authors like Holly Black, who did the Spiderwick Chronicles. We've got a couple of T-shirts for her and some beautiful stickers and
Nice.
and things. We started doing merchandising for Kevin Hearn for the Iron Druid Chronicles. So we have like stoneware mugs with stuff from his world, like the world from the books.
Yeah.
Jim Butcher and the Dresden Files. We've got a few T-shirts.
Wow.
And it's all officially licensed stuff.
Yeah.
And it's all available at thetinkerspacks.com.
Wow.
So yeah, that's year round. We do other fundraising, like I said, for Houston and Puerto Rico when we can. So it's like when I say we've raised over $7 million, a lot of that went to Heifer.
Yeah.
But like some of it went to Mercy Corps, which is they're more of a boots on the ground kind of a thing. Heifer plays the long game.
Right.
And Mercy Corps goes in whenever there's been a disaster. Like they were on the ground in Puerto Rico as fast as they possibly could be.
Yeah.
So we raised a bunch of money with kind of a pop-up fundraiser this fall for them, and we've also worked with First Book and Global Giving just to get them some money so they can do what they do.
Yeah. And I know like First Book, they do like literacy, right? They try to
right? Yeah, they get books into schools that might otherwise not have a budget for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which is awesome because we like books.
Yeah. I can tell.
Yes. What with the big wall of books. But yeah, when I first got hired here, I'm like, so is this, I know you only do one big fundraiser every year. I said, what am I going to be doing the entire rest of the year?
Yeah.
Am I just going to be sitting around, not getting paid because I'm not doing work? And they're like, oh no, there's plenty to do around here. And I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to trust you.
Yeah.
And I have put in so much overtime in this job.
Wow.
And that's the other thing. It's like, it's for a charity.
Yeah.
How can I not?
Yeah.
I've come in on weekends. Like I was here last Saturday, getting the last minute stuff for the big fundraiser launch on Monday together, and I'm like, this is great. I'm working on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Just because it's gonna get. I sound so corny. Just because I really believe in what we do.
Yeah.
It's just a cool job to have, and there's a lot of work involved.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like work. And I get home and I'm tired, and I've spent way too much time. I got here early, I left late.
Yeah. You meet with me on a Sunday evening.
Meet with you on a Sunday evening to pimp
talk
my
this.
job.
Yeah.
But no, it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to come in. Whenever they need me. Like if we try to go to different conventions, like we go to Gen Con every year just to have a presence and to meet people, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like people come up to the booth and they're like, oh, I was looking for you guys. I was hoping you were going to be here. I'm like, yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's kind of cool because then we can actually get to meet the people that have donated every year. Or it's like we got to meet Alessandra, is the lady who does the cross stitch, and we got to meet her and her family when we were at Salt Lake City.
That's awesome.
At that convention, and she was fantastic. She's one of the nicest people.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a trend.
Yeah.
Around here, it's like every time we meet
Yeah.
people that we work with, or I've emailed back and forth with you for the past 3 years, and here you are standing in front of me.
Yeah.
And they're wonderful people.
Yeah.
It's
that's
just
awesome.
crazy.
That's so cool.
It's hard to be cynical.
Yeah. Well, and I've known you for a long time. Like I think we've mentioned this before. Like,
yes.
Like I want to say.
Don't say it.
20 years.
Oh, you said it.
I did. I gotta say though, like, and you've always been a happy-go-lucky kind of person, but I can tell you really enjoy this job.
This is a fun job.
Because I mean, you just like you're just glowing when you talk about the job. Yeah. So that's really cool. That's I envy you.
I envy me too sometimes. I'm like, wait, what did I do to get in here? Why? What?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Cool.
And it's neat because it's like I get to do cool stuff. You know, my job. I don't do the heavy lifting, so that's why I get to be happy.
Yeah.
It's basically it's all around here. It's Maria and Rachel do all the heavy lifting, and I do what they tell me to.
Yeah.
So it's like they talk to people and they coordinate donations and they answer the hard questions and they put spreadsheets together and organize things. And it's like, you know, Sunday night before we launched the Puerto Rico fundraiser Monday or Tuesday, and like that Sunday night I got an email from Rachel and she's like, so we're doing a Puerto Rico fundraiser, get ready. And I'm like, what are we doing? Don't know yet. So I'm like, all right, bring it on. And you know, within a day, you know, they had the whole thing mapped out.
Wow.
And we launched and we raised a bunch of money.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And it was like, and that's like the in the trenches fundraising, something like that, because it's like we have a week, we're going to raise as much money as we can, and then we're going to cut it off at the end of the week because we need to get that money
out the door.
So that they can do something with it. So it's like we don't have a lottery, we don't have prizes, we don't have incentives. The only incentive is these people don't have clean water, they don't have power. You know, they're like hospitals are dark, and there's people that need life support.
Yeah.
You know, we need to get the money now, and everybody's like, take mine.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, once again, where's the website that people can go to?
Once again, it's Worldbuilders. I can't even pronounce it anymore. I've said it too often. I get tongue-tied. Worldbuilders.org/donate will get you right to our donations page. If you just go to worldbuilders.org, you'll find links to our blog. We have a comic that's currently on hold while we're doing the fundraiser, but otherwise we have a weekly webcomic that we do. And we have a blog that'll have updates on all the stuff that's going on. We're going to try to do daily updates during the fundraiser to keep people kind of informed as far as what we're doing.
Sure.
And you know, all that is on the main website. Otherwise, we call the online store the sure thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you want to help out the charity and you want to make sure that you get something that you can give somebody for Christmas, sure thing is the tinkerspacks.com.
That's another option, yeah.
Where you can get all the cool stuff I was talking about from the cool people I was talking about.
Yeah.
And more.
Yeah.
So many books.
Yeah.
So many books.
Cool. Well, thanks for meeting with me on a Sunday evening.
Thanks for spending your Sunday evening talking.
Well, I enjoy talking with you, and we have you on our show every once in a while as well.
Every so often, yep.
So we'll probably ask you to be on our show again in the future.
All right. Hopefully I've got my minty pie built by then.
Yeah. We're waiting for that to be built. So
am I. It's a little daunting.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, especially now, you're probably really busy. So
yeah, I was kind of waiting because, like, when it's nice out, I want to do outside things.
Yeah.
And now it's freezing, but I'm working all the time.
Yeah.
But once the fundraiser's done, it will still be freezing.
Yeah.
And I should have some more evenings free.
There you go.
I can start putting that together.
Cool. Well, thanks again for meeting, and then we'll put the links up on our on this podcast as well, so people can just link right to the notes in the podcast.
Lovely.
So they can go right to the site. So, all right, thanks again.
Yeah, thanks, Roger.
And listen to us on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, anywhere you get your podcasts, you can listen to us. So, all right, thanks everybody, and GamerHeads out.
Woo.